allocations will be transferred to the respective county revenue funds in accordance with the payment schedule to be published by the CS of the Treasury in accordance with Section 17 of the PFM Act. Within 30 days after the end of every quarter, the CS Treasury should publish a report on the funds actually transferred to the counties. Your Excellency, I'll be honored to present the bill.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, I have
Good morning, Mr. Clerk.
Good morning, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, I have the instructions of the Speaker of the National Assembly to place before you 3 vellum copies for your assent. The first one is the Capital Markets Amendment Bill, which was a bill that was introduced in the National Assembly by the leader of Majority Party, having gone through the Cabinet. That bill, Your Excellency, is one of those that the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury undertook to bring to Parliament when he was reading the budget in June last year.
Correct.
The bill, Your Excellency, is one of those that is implementing the objectives of the government and Parliament to make doing business in Kenya easy. Under the current Section 29 of the Capital Markets Act, there's a requirement that the shareholding for different players under capital markets, that is stockbrokers and investment banks, that the shareholdings are limited by law. Now Parliament decided, for purposes of flexibility and making Kenya more competitive, should give those powers, delegate those powers to the Cabinet Secretary so that those decisions are made on flexible basis and to reflect the global markets so as to attract more investments in the Republic of Kenya. The bill is short, Your Excellency, and it provides that it will come into force after 14 days following its assent. Your Excellency, the second bill to come before you is a small one. It's a Provisional Collection of Taxes Repeal Bill. Sometime in the year 2017, Mr. Omutata then petitioned Parliament to remove a key clause from its statute books, including this law. He argued before Parliament that that law was taking away the powers of Parliament. Parliament delayed in actualizing his decision, and therefore he approached the courts, and he was able to convince courts that that law is indeed unconstitutional, since it was allowing the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury. The moment he announces the taxation measures in June, they were becoming law, as if the tax law has been passed by Parliament. The court agreed with him that that was taking away the powers of Parliament, and indeed against the Constitution of Kenya 2010. So in 2019, the court ruled, Parliament did not appeal, the Attorney General at the time did not appeal, neither did the National Treasury. Therefore, the law was declared unconstitutional, but continues to stay moot in our law books. So the decision of the Cabinet was to ask Parliament to remove it from our law books by repealing it. And that is what is before you today. Simply a cleanup of our law book. The last one, Your Excellency, is a government-owned enterprises bill, the GOE Bill 2025. This bill was introduced in the National Assembly by the leader of the majority party, having been received from the cabinet through the Office of the Attorney General. The bill, Your Excellency, introduces new ways in which the government will be making investments in its own entities. It provides for, number one, for a public entity for a government-owned enterprise to be created, there must be a business logic behind it. It must be able to run on its own without being funded by the exchequer. It must be able to run on its own without asking for more money from the taxpayers. The bill also provides, Your Excellency, that there is a list of 65 hitherto state corporations and another 18 which will henceforth be registered under the Companies Act as government enterprises, and they be reformed in accordance with this law. The idea is to streamline the commercial operations of all government enterprises so that it makes commercial sense to the people of Kenya.
This is the law that was originally spearheaded by what was that member of parliament for Mandera? Abdikadir.
Yes. Abdikadir, yes.
Abdikadir.
Yes.
That was which year? 2014. Yes. So it's been doing the round.
Yes, since 2014, there was that proposal that came from the task force chaired by the then member for Mandera, Abdikadir, who came to State House as an advisor. It has been going round, and the idea was partly to amalgamate some of them and also to come up with the government enterprises vehicle.
Correct.
So that these entities have to make sense. It specifies the 65 existing corporations and another additional 18 that currently carry out commercial activities. This includes the Agriculture Finance Corporation, the Kenya Airports Authority, the Post Bank, Postal Corporation, amongst others, Your Excellency. The bill provides for enhanced corporate governance and provides that boards of government-owned enterprises shall have membership of not more than 9 persons, a majority of whom, that is 6, will be independent directors who are sourced through a mechanism called search and identify, so as to bring that corporate governance way of managing our state corporations. Your Excellency, the bill also notes that sometimes these government-owned enterprises may have to conduct other business that they have been assigned by the state, which may not necessarily be commercial. For that reason, the bill provides that when that happens, it will be purposeful, it will be specific, and there will be specific funding for that from the state for that particular obligation. It's called public service obligation being performed by a government-owned enterprise. And the idea is to allow the government to leverage on the efficiencies of commercial enterprises in the provision of public services, Your Excellency.
Correct.
Permit me, Your Excellency, to retire my commission for the day at this stage.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clerk.
For publication into law. Your Excellency, you may also graciously present ceremonial copies of the Act to the Speaker of the National Assembly, the leader of the majority parties, both the National Assembly and Senate, and the leaders of all parties in both the National Assembly and the Senate, other members of Parliament present, and all esteemed state officials in attendance.
Chair, Finance, Department of the Passage, Madam Chief Whip, asante sana, Ruto, Parliament, Madam Chief Whip, and then the leader of the minority side, Speaker, asante sana, very good.
In conclusion, Your Excellency will unveil and display an open ceremonial copy of the Act, while other state officials shall bear closed copies. Thank you, Excellency, and this marks the end of our open ceremony.
Thank you very much. Thank you.